I got my start as a screenwriter when a producer ran my spec script through an AI program. Buckle up. I'm going to have a conversation about AI, ownership, and gatekeeping on a filmmaker's guide to surviving authoritarianism.
I want you to get up right now,
really
go to the
won't remember any
window,
of this.
open it, and stick your head out
Worse
and
it is, the more
yell,
they forget.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
She really won't remember any of
I
this.
want you to get up right now.
I know that the language models are not there yet, but it is coming soon. And I wanted to have this conversation and also get your ideas about what this means for the future of this business in respects to gatekeeping and also one of ownership. When I initially started this post, I was going to have a simple conversation about the new ways in which you could gain entry into the filmmaking and gaming industry, and that's i.e. AI. How happy I was that after my struggles, which mostly had to do with the fact that I spent most of my career as a production designer and I simply couldn't get the time off to finish anything so that I could push anything forth. Example, I got asked to submit my script twice to Sundance. Twice. For those who have submitted their scripts to Sundance, there's an initial phase where you do the proposal in the first 5 pages of the script. I submitted those things before finishing the script, thinking that I would have the time. And both times they asked me for the script, and both times I was not ready. So there should be a lesson in that. But I wanted to have this conversation about what it means when AI is the gatekeeper. And also, what does that mean for ownership? Now, let's talk about the aspect of gatekeeping. And one that, don't get me wrong, one of the first things I thought about when AI chose me and a human didn't choose me, I immediately went to race. And then why I had to turn away from it only being about race when I researched 3 cases. I came across 3 cases. Buckwall versus Paramount is something everyone references in respects to IP theft. Actually is the one who, with his treatment, wrote Coming to America. He wrote this short story about how an African prince came to America to find his queen. After a lawsuit, there was a settlement of $850,000. But what was more important about that lawsuit is that it forced the studios to open their books. So you can see that actually they were cheating creatives for years, and it changed the system of how we view filmmaking today. Fast forward, we're dealing with the Tessa Gerritsen situation. She was actually a novelist who had an extremely successful novel, Gravity. Everyone knows the film. It was nominated for 6 Academy Awards, I believe. And Alfonso Cuarón actually won an Academy Award himself for it as Best Director. The problem is that it was the deal was initially done at New Line. New Line folded, and in the scramble of everything going on, Alfonso Cuarón went ahead and rewrote another script by the name of Gravity, but Tessa Gerritsen's name wasn't on it. When everything came together, Gerritsen actually sued because of breach of contract. She lost twice, and finally she decided to drop the lawsuit. And then most recently with the Simon Stevenson situation, which I have to say this one, and I'm actually going to read from Variety of what they said about this one, because this one was really particularly troubling. Frisco from 2019 was number 3 on the Blacklist, and everyone knows the Blacklist is an online platform where they have vetted scripts from producers to be sold on the open market. So he put Frisco up, of which a producer and a director, the producer and director, Alexander Payne, absolutely saw this script. He admitted he saw this script via his agent and via email, that he saw this script in 2013 and 2019, but decided not to go with the script. Fast forward, The Holdovers comes out, and Variety says something that I thought really was frightening. It's even broader than a conversation about race, and that's why I bring up Buckwall, Gerritsen, and Stevenson. The Copyright Office actually copyrights the words that are written on the page, but there was enough carryover that they were able to come to a settlement in the Buckwall case, and actually is the gold standard to copyright cases in the film industry. But I find the Stevenson case to be incredibly troubling, because this gets into a conversation about gatekeeping. And Who is allowed to tell stories? I'm going to read this directly because when I read this, I just said, holy ish, you gotta be kidding me. This is what Variety said about the matter. The copying is so comprehensive that it seems likely that the holdovers was created by importing Frisco into screenwriting software and directly overtyping the transposition on a line-by-line basis. Indeed, there are even places in which versions of the transposed Frisco sequence can be identified twice in the holdovers, once in the sequencing original Frisco location and the second time in the place the holdovers narrative where it has been resequenced to. This implies that after being imported into screenwriting software, the resequenced Frisco sequences were moved by use of copy and paste. In fact, the industry scale of the plagiarism means that it's actually far easier to list the parts of the holdovers that were not taken from Frisco as opposed to those that were. Now, that is incredibly damning coming from Variety. So I want to know what you guys think. What do you think about the future of ownership and gatekeeping as it pertains to AI, our new technological reality? Have we entered the microwave era of media? And what does that mean for creators?